But welcome back to another episode of FSIDFS Fantasy NASCAR Picks. I'm host Mike 31. Apologize again for last week. I don't know what happened. I checked my mic before I did the video and everything was good. The mic was green. And then when we produced it, no sound came out. But still, like 900 of you came and watched the video. So that's outstanding. So either you don't care about what I talk about and just like the sheet, or, you know, you really enjoy this and you just want to support me. So you tuned in anyway. So either way, I appreciate it. And this week I'm gonna do the best I can. Honest day was all tied up. My son's graduated college, which is wonderful. It was a great day with baccalaureate, and they had a reception for his major and stuff. And then tomorrow the ceremony is really early in the morning if it doesn't rain. So hopefully that works out. So I didn't get a chance to watch practice and qualify. I tried to look through the data as much as I could. The Xfinity video, like even with the rain out of practice of qualifying, did pretty well. I know it's hard to really pinpoint dominators, but I did talk about Allgaier and how he was really good at tire wear, and he had one of the highest scores out there. And man, things came together, and I was able to profit. Not as much as I'd like to, because there were a couple of accidents that killed um, some of my lines, but it was enough to be a profitable day. So I made about, I think I played around 100 and ended up making about three. So that was pretty good. I'll take it. Anyways, and most of that was like cash, like GPPs really weren't like smashing. So, but that's why I hedge with cash just in case, just to have some floor there and be able to plan on for next week. So, Cup Series here, Darlington. Tire wear is going to be a huge thing. So I have some of these guys are really good at it, and we'll see. But I'm really just feeling kind of this season. It's it's Larson and Hamlin show. I mean, it just seems like those two have this cars figured out, no matter what the track is. So I think just going forward in cash, I might just throw those two in, see who's good place differential, see who's good value, and just build that way until other people start to emerge. And if you watch the Xfinity video, I have it's conspiracy theory that I'm betting on, and I'm going to play a little bit GPPs. Is that Ford is just continues to struggle and has not won anything at all this year. Let's see, those we've all got one, so that's another Chevy. So it hasn't stopped. Now Ford has been the bridesmaid, and especially like last week with the closest finish ever with Busher and the Fords looked good, and some of the fastest practice feeds from what I saw, and it looked like they qualified well here. So we'll have to see. But I think that NASCAR is going to make it happen. So Ford gets a win just to get the monkey off that manufacturer's back. They've had a huge relationship with NASCAR for many, many years, and I just feel that they can't keep on going on hearing that Ford can't win, Ford can't win, Ford can't win. And my guess is that the win is going to come in the Cup Series because that's the most prestigious one. But any win for Ford on any series could be a huge piece of momentum. So we'll have to see what happens there. But again, just my theory. Haven't read about it, heard about it anyplace else. I'm just thinking that I've seen some things happen in NASCAR and sports that just seem to be, let's say, manufactured. And it wouldn't surprise me if I see a Ford win sometime soon in a questionable way. So again, I'm not saying it's going to happen, just saying that I'm just going to take advantage of putting some small bets on Fords and playing some GPPs with Fords in case it does. So, anyways, let's start up top. Tyler Reddick, probably a perfect track for him. He is a guy that loves to ride high against the wall. And even with getting a Darlington stripe a couple times here, it should be fine. Hey, look, the practice speeds, I didn't see him as far up there. So, again, I don't know if they had a different a case where they had, sometimes they have like an A group and B group, and there's more rubber on the track, or the sun's out for one, is not for the other. Temperatures, it really can affect how they run. So Reddick was only 18th. So I don't know. Is this car just set up for a hot lap, or is he really good? Like not good running in traffic, but really good. So if he gets out front, will he be okay? So I'm in his upside dominator. I think he's gonna be highly owned. and pretty popular. So I guess that I can see playing him in cash if you think he's going to be an early dominator. Keselowski or Busher could very well get ahead of him, and then you have if they are able to pass like Byron Larson and Hamlin like in a pack just behind him, not too far, that could eventually go and be like the primary dominators in this race. So like Tyler Reddick, I think could definitely lead, could definitely win this race. So he's got some upside as a dominator, but I don't maybe play him in cash, but I can't like give him the purple dominator tag at all. Keselowski and Busher, I think both of them looked decent in especially Busher. Keselowski was a little slower. Busher was third fast in practice. Keselowski was 22nd, so that's kind of bizarre. I qualified that well. So I think Keselowski would be pretty low owned. Like we want Keselowski to succeed. I mean, he used to annoy the heck out of me, but now I kind of feel bad for him. And it's like kind of Tiger Woods. Like I couldn't stand him when he was winning everything, but now I kind of wanted to like do well again because it's just kind of miss having him being successful. So I don't think Brad's like washed up over his hill or anything. I think they'll figure it out and he'll get there and then he will, get back to he's gone over 100 races without a win. So, and I don't think this is going to be the one. I think he could do decent here. And same thing with Busher. And again, with my Ford theory that you probably bet each put a little bit of coin on each one to potentially win this, just in case my theory comes true. But I think they're upside dominators. I just don't think that they can sustain it for the whole race. Ty Gibbs, he had been knocking on the door. He took a little bit of step back. Now he's up there, second fastest in practice, qualifies fourth. I think he's definitely an upside dominator, and maybe I could give him the purple tag, but I do like the price point here at 85. And the Toyotas have been strong, and he hasn't been bad at Darlington, so I think that he's got some potential. William Byron, I almost gave him the purple one also here. I mean, he was fast in practice, fifth, and he ran really well in Xfinity. So he's got a feel for the track, even though it's a different car. But I think that he's going to be very, very popular. And I think that most people are going to use him as their primary dominator. I want to use Larson and Hamlin, like I said here. You get to these two, and they just have been like the head of the class, no matter almost matchup proof, no matter what track or where they are. And Hamlin, ninth in practice, like he's never good in practice and Larson was 15th. But again, I don't know the full story on these, but I think these guys are going to be really strong. And it wouldn't surprise me if they figure out how to get up there through the field and one of the two of them or both of them trade on and off leading this race and dominating. So I think that's where I'm going to go for that. Bubba Wallace, I think he's an upside dominator too. Again, 23, 11% good. He's been decent at Darlington. And I think that he should be his practice was 11th. So I think there's some upside there if you want to put him in your dominator pool. And then Ross Chastain won the truck race, looked really good there, has run well here before. And I think he's got the aggressiveness to get through the fields and get up there and wants to lead. And I think that he could be a dark horse to even win this one too. So that's why I got the cash dominator for him. And Truex, I don't know if he's going to be a dominator here. He might need to be at 10-7 with the price point, but he's just been solid recently. He's led almost every race at one point or another. So I think that you could play him in cash here, but I just haven't found a build that I like. Unless for some reason like Larson and Hamlin are going to start at the back and there's like a mechanical issue or something that pops up with their car or I see something. Or again, if I'm trying to get some of the place differential plays in. Like right now, if I take Larson Hamlin, I'm not going to get a 9K guy in, and like the rest of my lineup, I'm stuck with like, so there's not really stuck. Like there's some really solid plays in the 7K range, but you might need to pivot off of Larson or Hamlin and throw Truex in there for a little bit of place around differential if you think that he could be a dominator. That might make your lineup work a little bit better for you. Kyle Busch. I mean, we always are waiting for Kyle Busch. to emerge, but it just isn't happening. I had a bad truck race, so maybe that incentive for him to come. I know it's his daughter's birthday weekend, so I've heard like that narrative and stuff have been out there. But I really think that he's just going to be a GPP, and he used to be the first GPP guy in my lineup, and that doesn't even happen anymore. I don't think he's washed out. I just don't think he's that dominant. So if I see him start to turn things around and see things pointing in the right direction, I'm going to. But I think he's heading into retirement soon with the Cup. Um, Maybe some ownership at Richard Childress, or they said maybe just going to go full time truck series for a couple of years, just to kind of he really that's his passion, really enjoys it. I just don't know if he's got the drive to win in the Cup level anymore. But we'll see. Watch him win the race tomorrow. So Christopher Bell. I'm just so frustrated here. Like Christopher Bell goes out and he's on the pole and he just wrecks so much. Like I've been saying, he almost is. There's an invitation sitting on the table. He's not seated at the table yet with like Austin Dillon and Austin Cindric and Harrison Burton, um, Joe Graff Jr. and Drew Dollar and all my favorite guys that wreck there. And John Hunter Nemechek, I'll throw him at the table. Like so, Christopher Bell has like a nameplate there, but he's not quite sitting at the table yet. But it's just frustrating, like how much the crew gets him out there and sets him up, and he goes out and qualifies really well, and he just can't do it. Now, last year it's the crew's fault. Like the pit crew killed him. This year he's doing it himself. His pit crew's been solid statistically. They've actually, helped him gain track position and stuff. And he's the one that's been like running into people or making mistakes, or just maybe it's just bad luck. But anyways, yeah, same thing with Kyle Busch. Until I see him pointing in the right direction, I really can't go there. Chase Briscoe, I've always been a fan of and like him, but I don't know what's going on with the Stuart Haas team. Like, there's rumors that they're going to downsize and that they're only going to keep two cars, and he'd be one of the odd men out. I know he's been working in those secret sessions with Barry and Gregson. Um, Looks like it worked out pretty well for him, but Barry and Gregson didn't qualify very well. Again, maybe something did happen there. I don't have the but Briscoe's only 29th in speed there. So GPP for me, again, I just kind of worry about like what's happening with the Stuart Haas team. I like him on tracks where he has to shift a lot. This could be a little bit of that, but I just don't see a ton of upside. So GPP. Joey Logano, I like throw him in a GPP. He fits my Ford conspiracy theory build, and like he usually starts outside of the top 10. So if he's not there knocking on the door for stage points, then you see him pit early and get out there and usually lead some point in like stage 2 or stage 3, depending on how the race is going. So there's always upside with him. He's a good driver. He's won championships. Like the Penske team, it's going to click eventually. I mean, they're not like a third class team. So I keep on playing him GPPs and just hoping I should just probably put he and Keselowski in like the same lineup each week, and just hope that like they click at the same time, both have amazing races. Gillian has been solid this season, but he started way too far forward, 15th year. I almost put the fade tag on him, but I gotta put the GPP. I'm not super interested. Um, Practice. He was actually 16th, so I mean there's some upside there. So maybe he could finish in the top 15. We'll have to see. Michael McDowell, he's leaving front row, which makes me wonder, like, what's going on there. I mean, they just front row just signed a partnership with Penske, so I mean, to work with them so I don't know um, what's going on here with them. Maybe they're merging with Stuart Haas. Maybe they're contracting. But for him to go to Spire, like Spire's up and coming, but I don't know how. He's going to drive the 71, which Zane Smith is in. Does that mean Zane Smith comes over here? Uh, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But you gotta wonder at what point do they start pulling the rug out from underneath Michael McDowell? because he's not going to be there anymore. We kind of saw it with Kyle Busch when he was leaving Gibbs. We kind of saw it with Reddick when he was leaving Childress. So you just always got to wonder that. So um, GPP right at this point because I'm going to wait and see what happens. Laney, another one, another Ford that should be performing better and just is not having a great season. 9K cash, he definitely has some place differential upside. He should get into the top 10. He does run well. He does run well on tire wear tracks. So I think he can be a solid cash play, but I don't know if you're playing Larson Hamlin, if you're going to get to this 9K range. Like I said, you might have to drop down and play like Chastain as a dominator with either Larson or Hamlin or somebody in the 10K range for that, or Reddick on the pole. That would make sense of the build too. Bowman and Suarez, like these guys again, every week you think they're in a great situation and they just don't perform. Like Bowman just hasn't the speed. I used to call him my like blue collar lunchbox guy. He used to come in and start 18th and then he'd just do his job and you'd blink and like look at the standings at the end of the race and all of a sudden he's in sixth and he just did it quietly. He's like the silent assassin, but we just don't see it this year. It just, I don't know if it was the injury last year, so they're lingering or what's going on, but this team just hasn't had the speed that the other Hendricks cards have. So I don't know. GPP, how was he in or practice? Alex Bowman, 30th. Okay, so there we go. Daniel Suarez, same thing last week. Oh, great. He's in a great track for him. It's great place differential play starting like 27th, and I think he ended 27th. So I just haven't seen the speed out of him either. So GPP for me. Stenhouse and Hocevar. I think these are solid cash plays here. And they are starting a little bit too far forward, but I mean, I'm okay with them. Like each one of them have done really well on tire wear tracks, and that's what we're looking for. So I think you can consider both of them cash. Hunter Nemechek starting 22nd. You know my feelings on him. I just feel he's kind of like Chris Bell that just gets into trouble. And even though he's got a good car, good team, good equipment, and should always excel and should probably be top 15, it just doesn't happen more often than not. So GPP. Now he's had some good races. He has put it together, but more often than that, it seems like he's had issues. So GPP. Dylan, same thing. Just like you're just waiting for the upside and this team to deliver, and it just doesn't happen. So I just can't play in cash. Corey LaJoy has risen to the occasion though. So 24th place team. He's overachieved and gotten into top 20 or at least finished where he started. So at his price point, I found that being a cash play. Austin Cindric, same thing. As Dylan, as Bell, just has like he instant success and it just went away. And I think his father got suspended from the Indy series or from or maybe it was somebody else in his family. I thought I saw something on X or Twitter that the Cindric got suspended for something. So I don't know, maybe his time in this car is coming to an end pretty soon. You have to see it. There's a lot of really good um I know the pipeline is not great for Ford, but you still have like Custer down there and some other people in Xfinity that you could potentially bring up. So we'll see what happens there. Ryan Priest, again, he's having a couple battles with his teammates because they were doing this secret like practice like session like iRacing or something like that or studying data as led by Gregson and he invited Barry and Briscoe to come out, but and I guess Priest wasn't invited to the party. Um, so I said last week that he's probably racing for his job if this team's even going to exist next week or next year, or for a job in general. So I think you can play him in cash here. He's been solid at Darlington, and I like the price point and everything. But again, you just got to wonder if we start to see some writing on the wall of like what's happening to him, or if he's not going to have a ride next year, then that could help him or it could hurt him. We'll have to see what direction the arrow starts to point. Zane Smith, Again, I liked him as a truck driver. I was so excited for him coming up to Cup. I'm all over Corey Haim now, and as a young talented driver. And I thought Zane Smith was the same thing, but it seems like he came up too fast, like Hemrick did, or Cole Custer did, or it looks like John Hunter Nemechek. Well, yeah, I mean, he already did once, or like Noah Gragson last year. And it's just not clicking, and it just doesn't seem like Spire's given him the team and the cars and everything that he needs to succeed. And it looks like he's the odd man out here anyway. So at GPP, I just can't to a fade. I just can't play him here. In Truck Series, yes. If he drops down the Truck Series, absolutely. But I can't do it here in this series. Haley, I think it's a strong cash play. Like Rick Ware has overachieved this season. I like him starting a little bit further back, but I think he's fine here. He probably should finish around where he starts, and at 53 should be able to pay it off. Hemrick, I just don't trust the Cully program GPP for me. Eric Jones makes his return. Heim's not in this car. Jones should be back and should be well, but he missed two. He broke something in his back. I just fear it's not going to be comfortable for him. And he qualified 30th. Like his practice speed was well, seventh. Okay, so that's not too bad. But I just think there's too many question marks, and with the different plays that you have down here, he's 7,500. Where like I can play like Haley, who's almost starting the same spot, like for 1,200 less. I mean, I'm just gonna take probably some of the cheaper place differential plays and not really play too much Eric Jones, if any. But I get it. But again, I just think there's too many questions there. Chase Elliott, he's going to be cash play. A lot of people are going to put him as prime play. I don't know if he's good chalk. I've just seen him like have some good races, but overall just really struggle recently. So play first in practice, so there's nothing like really spectacular there. I know the place differential's there, and at least he's not 10K, but 98 is he's really going to need to do something to pay off that price tag. And I think too much can go wrong. So I'm not going to fade him. I think he's a great cash play, but I really want to get to Larson Hamlin. And he's like one of the guys I'm talking about, 98. I can't get there. So just crosses the GPP, not much to see there. If he fits your build, that's fine. He's probably the second cheapest driver out there, but I don't really love it. But that's why I have like Josh Berry and Noah Grayson down here as prime plays, because like with the two of them, with the place differential they have, and being Stewart Haas teammates, and should be able to get these cars figured out and do really well. Uh, See, Barry's only 28th in practice speed, and Grayson was 13. So, but I do think there's some upside with these teams and the crew chiefs and everything that they have. That they're not 30th cars that should be running in the 30s. They should be up much higher. So I think that I really like them as prime plays. I'm going to try to get Hamlin and Larson in, and then Chase Elliott's just not going to fit that build. But if you want to boot one of the top guys and throw Elliott in there as or in place of one of these prime plays, I completely get it. Gala and Burton, I'm not playing. I don't have them as fades, but I probably should. Like the place differential is so much more solid upside for Barry and Gregson than it's going to be for Gralla and Harrison Burton. And Harrison Burton, I sure will get some ownership down here because he's starting 35th and he can only lose. Well, he get points because it's a 40-point scale for finishing 36. So his his floor is a three, but that's still just not enough for me to want to click and put him in the lineup. Maybe in a GPP if I'm trying to do something weird, if I need the salary to open up, but I'd probably play Gralla, Hemrick, Haley definitely over him. He's just so disappointing week after week after week. So that's what I got for you. If you have any questions, put in the chat below. Hit me up at River31 on Twitter, formerly X. North Wilkesboro next week, so that should be fun. And I think it's at the All Star week. Yeah, probably because after that we have the Memorial Day, the Coca Cola 600, and everything at Charlotte. So yeah, I don't. don't know like what we'll do for coverage there because if it's has the weird heats and stuff, I might have to do a speculation video for Cup or just open it up and throw a coupon out there, and you can just come into the Discord and get the sheet there. Um, but we'll figure it out as the weekend approaches. So, but anyways, for this race, as I said, you know how to get a hold of me. Um, I will be at graduation tomorrow, but I'll try to answer questions. If we have breaks or things like that. So I'll look into it to make sure. Try to take care of you guys. Just an appreciation for you watching these videos. So if these videos help you, like, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, share it with friends. And if you want more information on FSIDFS, you can get into our Discord by going to the description of the video and going to our website for our pricing page and signing up. I think the link to Discord's there. Like, you just get into a couple free things in there, but for the premium rooms, they're pretty low priced. And keep on saying it's only $6 a day for a VIP pass, and that gets you soccer, Major League Baseball, NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, PGA. Showdown course should be out for tomorrow too, and NASCAR course. So weekends are great. VIP's time to subscribe for only $6 a day. It's only $25 for the whole week. So for $65 for the month, it's not too expensive, and we cover a lot. So I got for you. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. Good luck in your contest. Hope you have an amazing weekend. I'll see you next.